Hey guys, you're watching Fitness Regiment, and in this episode we'll be talking about assigning variables. So, assigning variables is important in case you want to reuse them. So you can tell R what you want X and Y to be. These can be vectors, these can be integer values, these can be trigonometric functions, complicated functions, anything you want it to be, you can assign a value. So, these are called local variables. So the left arrow is most preferred, although you can also use the equal sign. So here we show assigning value to x, where it's 1 to 5 using the colon operator, and we use the colon operator for 6 to 10 using y. Then you can perform simple mathematical arithmetic calculations, where we just go, for example, x plus 2 multiplied by y minus 3. And that'll give us our result, where x is 1 to 5 and y is 6 to 10. So you can do that on paper to double check it. Now, one thing that's pretty important is the spaces. They're technically not compulsory, but they're very important for readability. So what do I mean? I put an x space between the arrow, between, for example, x and 3, if I want x to be equal to 3. Because what if, let's say, I put a space in the wrong place, then x might be less than minus 3, or it won't really know what it's meaning, you know what I mean? Like, if I have x arrow 3, and they're close together, it might mean x less than minus 3 or whatever. So just put spaces and try to space things apart. That's one thing I often don't do, but it's pretty important to do. You can also do a global assignment where you use 2 arrows, and there'll be more on this in chapter 6. It's not really too important, but you can do it with exponents and such thing. You can also assign using a sign function. Now this is much more complicated. I don't really see the point, but it can be useful if you're assigning variables. So you can do my local variable, assign my local variable, or assign my global variable. They do the same thing as the arrow or double arrow operator. You don't really need to bother about it now. You can also have global env function, which you don't need to worry about at all for now. So once you assign a variable, you don't see what variable has been given to it. However, if I assign a variable for x, let's say 1 to 5, I can then play it back by just typing x in and enter, and it'll tell me 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And if you want to assign a value and print it immediately, you can use a semicolon afterwards. So let's say I want z to be r normal of 5. I just go z, arrow, r norm, 5, semicolon, z, and it'll play it back immediately. I can do that again with rl norm. So that generates a log normal distribution, while r norm generates random numbers from a normal distribution. So I can do zz, left arrow, rl norm, 5, and that'll play back the values given. In the next episode, we're going to go over some special numbers. That includes the nan, inf, and na, which are basically positive, negative infinity, and such. So we'll see that in the next episode. That's really important. So thanks for watching.